The night sky above the Kale Prime sector shimmered with the light of distant stars, but the settlement below was anything but peaceful. Among the maze of hoverports, alloyed structures, and neon signs in alien glyphs, a small, delicate figure moved through the shadows, unaware that danger was already upon her. Lyria Vallin, an alien woman from the peaceful Arinthian race, had grown up on the edge of human space. Her iridescent skin and bioluminescent markings made her a marvel to anyone who laid eyes on her, but they also made her a target. She had been careful, cautious, always aware of who might be watching, but that night, her vigilance was not enough. A group of heavily armed mercenaries dropped silently from a stealth shuttle. In seconds, they had surrounded her, immobilized her with energy cuffs, and carried her toward their ship. "She's heavier than expected," one mercenary muttered, glancing at her lithe form as if expecting resistance. "She's Arinthian. Strength enhanced. But humans do the impossible all the time, right?" Another replied with a cruel laugh. Inside the ship, Lyria's heart pounded. She fought against the restraints, but the energy cuffs responded with paralyzing pulses if she tried to resist too violently. Her eyes darted around, assessing her surroundings, plotting escape. But this time, escape was not immediate. These mercenaries were professionals, or at least they believed themselves to be. The human who wouldn't ignore her. Captain Daniel Cross had learned of the attack almost by accident. Lyria wasn't just any alien, she was his wife. Humans and Arinthians rarely formed unions, but Daniel had met Lyria during a joint peace mission years earlier. She had been a diplomat, he had been a captain assigned to escort her safely to human space. Their bond had grown in the crucible of interstellar politics and near-death encounters, until they had vowed their lives to each other. He had thought she was safe at a remote research facility on Kale Prime. But sensors had picked up anomalous energy signatures, resonances only consistent with Arinthian biosignatures, inside an unauthorized ship departing the planet. Daniel's shuttle launched immediately. He didn't bother with communication or waiting for backup. He couldn't. He wouldn't. "This ends tonight," he muttered, eyes narrowing at the tracker reading. "Nobody touches her but me." Middle. The chase across the stars. The mercenaries' ship sped through Kale Prime's orbit, weaving through asteroid belts and energy storms, confident that no one could follow them. They were wrong. Daniel piloted his fighter with precision born of years in combat. His engines roared past the edge of light speed, weaving around debris, dodging automated mines, and keeping Lyria's location locked in. Inside the ship, Lyria remained silent, wary of the mercenaries' every move. She knew that fighting them head-on would trigger the restraints, and she also knew that Daniel was coming. The thought steadied her heart. Minutes stretched like hours. The mercenaries' leader, a man named Torvek, became increasingly impatient. "We're being followed. Do you feel that? Someone's on us." One of his crew laughed. "Relax. Even if they are human, they won't catch us in this sector." That was the mistake. Daniel's ship struck the first of several pressure points, disabling the mercenaries' propulsion systems without opening fire. Moments later, he docked the fighter onto their craft, breaching their defenses with magnetic clamps. Chaos erupted inside the ship. The mercenaries fired wildly, but Daniel moved faster, each shot precise, non-lethal, designed to subdue rather than kill. Lyria watched in awe as her husband cleared the path toward her. Finally, he reached her side. His eyes met hers, the storm outside and inside the ship forgotten for the moment. "Hold still," he said, carefully removing the energy cuffs. The restraints hissed and powered down, freeing her limbs. "You came," she whispered, relief washing over her. "Of course," Daniel replied. "Nobody touches my wife." Middle. The revelation. The mercenaries had assumed Lyria was a valuable asset to sell, unaware of her connection to a human. Now, Confronted with Daniel's skill and determination, panic set in. Torvek screamed orders, but his team faltered under the pressure of a human who moved like a storm. Daniel's plan was simple: disable, not destroy. He incapacitated the crew with precision devices, targeting neural dampeners and energy disruptors. Lyria, once freed, fought alongside him, her Arinthian agility and combat training complementing his tactical expertise. "You're incredible," Daniel said, dodging a plasma blade. "You saved me first," she replied, countering an attacker with a strike that disarmed him instantly. It became clear to the mercenaries that this was not just another human, this was a man willing to risk everything for someone he loved. Fear spread among them faster than bullets or energy beams. Torvek's voice trembled. "We underestimated them. She's married to him?" "Yes," Daniel said grimly. "And I told you, nobody touches my wife." The revelation alone fractured their morale. Mercenaries who had once believed themselves unstoppable now hesitated. Lyria's presence beside Daniel reminded them that she was not just a prisoner, she was a partner in combat, fully capable of defending herself. Middle, a battle of trust and courage. The fight reached the ship's control deck. Daniel and Lyria moved with unspoken coordination, years of understanding each other reflected in every maneuver. Daniel engaged the navigation panel, reversing the ship's autopilot to send it hurtling toward the nearest human outpost, while Lyria disabled the remaining security drones. Every mercenary that attempted to intervene was either subdued or thrown off balance by their combined efforts. Torvek, realizing he had no options left, attempted a desperate escape with a shuttle pod. Daniel fired a precise magnetic net, catching the pod mid-flight and immobilizing it in orbit. "We're finished," Torvek gasped. Daniel looked at Lyria. "Shall we remind them why?" She nodded, her luminous markings flaring brightly, a display of Arinthian authority and combat readiness. Together, they moved toward the immobilized pod, a silent but unmistakable warning. By the time human reinforcements arrived, alerted by Daniel's beacon, the mercenaries were restrained and Lyria was safe. Ending, reunited and stronger. Back at the human outpost, Lyria and Daniel finally allowed themselves a moment of relief. "You were incredible," Lyria said softly. "I thought I'd never see you." "And you stayed strong," Daniel replied. "That's what kept me going." The incident changed both of them. Lyria realized how deeply she relied on Daniel, not for protection alone, but for partnership, for trust. Daniel recognized that love in the midst of interstellar chaos was not weakness, it was the ultimate strength. Authorities debriefed them both, praised their courage, and debriefed the mercenary crew, uncovering their broader network of kidnappers and smugglers. But Daniel and Lyria knew the most important victory had nothing to do with political gain or accolades. It was the reaffirmation of their bond. In the months that followed, they worked together to establish a secure human-Arinthian liaison outpost, ensuring that no other alien or human would face such danger alone. Their teamwork became legendary, symbolizing hope and unity in a galaxy scarred by conflict. And every time they recounted the story of that night, the kidnapping, the chase, the battle, one fact stood out above all: the mercenaries thought they could take her. They didn't know she was married to a human. And that human would move heaven and stars to save her.